All right. Episode 2.
Shadow's Waiting. The first one was called Leave Taking. I don't think we mentioned that.
Mixed bag. I was into the first half of this more than the second half. Yeah. However, I did find the city of the second half intriguing. Yeah. It was nice to see something other than trees.
Yeah.
I didn't care for the... I didn't know what to call him, so I called him the white man at first, and then I called him the black man at first, and then I called him the black white man. What were they called?
The eyeless?
No, the white coats.
Oh, yeah. White Cloak, I think.
He was a reader, or he was a questioner.
Yeah. I think they're called White Cloaks, is what they're calling them.
I didn't like him. But because I'm not supposed to, I liked him.
Yeah.
Because I was compelled when he was on screen. I didn't, whatever he ate.
Yeah.
It was like a bird urchin. I don't know. It was real a lot.
Weird.
And then he had that Aes Sedai where he had cut her hands off and was burning her at the stake. And not to get like too technical, but she would have been dead before she was dead.
100%. She would have checked way out of that.
I watched a video about medieval torture. I went down a really, really unfortunate.
Will's like, I know stuff because I know how to stop my heart the minute I hear of a zombie. So it's over for me.
That was interesting, and that was one of the few places where I was like, oh no. I'm not super into their interpersonal drama.
What? Really? You don't like Rand being a total cock the entire time and being an asshole to both women that we currently have in our group for no good reason other than he doesn't understand the way that women's stuff works? He is not this big of a cock in the book.
Uh-huh.
Although we have now, in episode 2, eclipsed what has taken me like 8 years to read.
Well, the thing is, I have... He's a prick. Like, I have too much respect for the word cock.
Fair enough.
He's more of a prick. And, although I did find it hilarious that he's made it very clear that he wants nothing to do with her. And she keeps finding ways to be like,
lying.
To be literally right here. Because, so she went and laid down with him. But she was like...
Yeah, she literally
pressed her nose against it, and it was like...
If that happened to me, and then I opened my eyes, I'd be like, whoop!
And then the person's like, what you thinking about? He was like, choking on bats. How about you?
And then he was like, I came out here to be alone. And it's like, but everyone's right there still.
So what was so he had a dream, or they all had dreams involving bats. He pulled it out of his mouth, and then there was like an Oni, like a ninja.
It was sort of like, that was one of the eyeless.
Oh.
The mouth was similar, but it had the eyes like embers were different, yeah.
Once again, I didn't like it. I liked it. But I didn't like it because it was...
Again, to bring this back to Dune, it had a real mouth like the worms.
I like the places where the show does stuff.
Yeah.
And so far, it's not sparingly...
No, but Moiraine did blow her entire wad, saving Emond's Field, and now she is asleep.
Relatable.
Blowing your entire wad and then falling asleep.
Got stuff to do.
Oh, man.
I did like the three, like, do they call them the three eyes? The three things codes that they live their lives by? Oaths, the three oaths. Because the first one is they don't tell no lies. Mm-hmm. The second one is they don't make weapons. And the third and my favorite one is they cannot use the power as a weapon unless you need to.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, you can.
She listed like 7 reasons with.
Just like, be cool. Don't do it.
I mean,
be cool about it. Well, also, it's you can't make any weapon for a man to kill another man. So I believe you can forge a weapon, but whoever ends up being the dragon, she's gonna forge them a weapon to kill the other thing. Which I was incorrect. One of them is the dragon, and they are going to fight the dark one. I didn't do it as good that time.
No,
I did it really good that one time.
We're a little punchy, and I don't really know why. It's a busy weekend. Busy week and a busy weekend. I like Moiraine. I keep wanting to call her Moiraine. I don't know why.
There's a lot of extra vowels in there.
I do like Moiraine. However, I also like that she halted their little bar song to like mansplain, to like witch-splain the entire history
of their own town. Well, was like, in fairness, they did not know the history of their own town.
Sure, but I was like, they weren't singing. It wasn't an informational song. Like they weren't singing the song to really fill in the the history gaps.
I mean, I liked the story.
I zoned out a little bit. I was like, oh my God, she's still talking.
So it actually kind of, to relate it to something that you like is
Hunger Games.
No, Daniel Bruhl's story in Inglourious Bastards. Way less problematic, obviously, but it's like this town, Emmons Field, the two rivers where they're from. They were like, you have to hold off this force, and we'll bring help to you in 3 days. But the 3 days came and went, and no help came. But they were just still holding off. It also is kind of like Hanukkah.
I was about to be like, how long did the oil last?
13 days. So they just kept holding off the force and holding off the force and holding off the force, and they realized no help was coming, and so they just kept doing it.
And help was supposed to be coming from the city, but there's something in the city that made them lethargic.
I don't know.
That city, the Shadar Logoth.
That's a different city than what was happening at Emmons Field.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we met the White Cloaks, and then we ran into them again. And what is their deal? Their Brotherhood Without Banners?
So they're sort of another like kind of religious-y sect, and they are like anti-Aes Sedai.
Because they're ladies?
Witches.
Okay. Yeah. Relatable.
He was literally burning one.
Yeah.
And that was like why Moiraine gave her ring to Lan, is because they knew that they were like looking, and she is the 8th one that they are looking for. 8.
Oh, so all of her sisters are dead.
Well, not all of them, but the eight that rode out from the White Tower.
So I'm assuming the one that was being burned was one of them. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Her name, well, she's credited as Yellow Aes Sedai, but her name is Vilma Frontova, which is a pretty cool name.
There was something about the Egwene with the wind that it's not that she can hear the wind, but that she can control it.
No, it's like she can hear the wind. That's what Moiraine was saying, that all the women everywhere have different names for it, but Egwene could have been the wisdom. She could have been the Nynaeve after, in the future, but she has more power than that. So Moiraine is going to teach her how to be an Aes Sedai.
And then what was the necklace?
She was just using it as like an instructional thing to make her make a spark out of it, and she did.
Okay.
She made the little tiny last one.
Okay.
She has the power. It just needs to be like,
I was going to be like, there was 2 from Moiraine and then one from her.
A very tiny one from her.
Well, we forgot to mention, I can't remember if we saw it last week, so maybe we didn't forget to mention the last episode. Mike is basically, has a zombie bite.
Perrin.
Why do I think his name's Mike?
I don't know. It's like, who the fuck is Mike?
Perrin has a zombie bite.
Perrin got scratched or bitten or something by one of the Trollocs in town. And I mean, he's not going to turn into one, but it's also, I mean, maybe, I don't know.
But then a wolf came up and licked it. And now he's better? The wolves helped.
Well, we haven't seen any evidence, but who knows?
Sort of going back to what I was saying about how they're getting on my nerves a little bit because they're being... I wish there was a better way for like screenwriters and productions to convey the fear and denial and all that, other than making characters stupid, because
stupid and shitty.
Yeah, just obtuse, because we had that whole scene where the like monsters, the Trollocs, were trying to like get across the boat, the bridge, or whatever.
The ferry.
Basically the farmer dude, which it's like, I mean, I guess, you got to go save your son, but also...
He was the ferryman.
Yeah, but it's just sort of, it was very clear what was happening.
Well, also, he was like, I have to save my son. He'll be here any minute. And I was like, there are 300 Trollocs over there. You can't see all of them. If your son is at the back trying to get to you, he is already dead.
Well, and furthermore, if you've done even half of your job as a father, when your son sees the 300 Trollocs,
he'll run the other way.
He'll retreat the opposite direction.
Yeah.
He won't go.
Like less than half your job as a father. That feels very instinctual, something your father doesn't need to teach you. Run away from the monsters. So. No, there was definitely that. And then there was like, I mean, already we've had like 3 different, you've brought the Trollocs to us. And it's like, no.
So what happened in the Shadar Logoth? It's...
the like city?
Yeah.
Matt touched something.
They said don't touch anything and don't eat anything.
And then he unsheathed a magic sword.
Does he still have it?
I don't know. Probably.
Because they like killed one of the horses.
It was horrible.
Yeah, it went on like entire seconds longer than it needed to.
And the horse's head was alive after its entire body had turned to ash. It was terrible. It was like a really bad thing that I had to watch.
And so they ran away and they separated.
Yeah.
But they're going to find each other again. And then we got...
well, they're all in the water now because...
Nevrin is back, or...
Nynaeve. But also, Egwene and Perrin, that bite on his leg almost doesn't matter because it must be gone completely because they jumped from a height of
his leg must be
thousands of meters.
It was like a good 250 feet.
200 feet, easy. And they just were like totally fine swimming away. And I was like, first of all...
like counting the windows on those buildings, that was like 6 or 7 stories. There was like...
yeah. Too much. Too tall.
Too much.
Shattered femurs.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's another one.
Yeah.
So we're going to watch the 3rd one. We'll see. I'm anticipating mixed.
Yeah, the Rand thing really annoyed me the most. After they all had the dream about the bat and he was like, this is your doing. I was just like...
okay, go back.
Yeah, I was like, literally not once is he like that as far as I've read in the books. And he's like very confused and scared and like, that's all fine. But it's just very, I don't know. I hate that kind of...
that trope.
She saved your life. She saved your dad's life. She saved everyone else's life who's here. She saved your town.
We touched on it, but she's not in great condition because apparently they can't heal themselves.
Yeah. So
she needs another one to heal her.
Yeah. Because she got stabbed. Yeah.
I remember. I remember it well. So, okay.
All right. Bye.